Greetings, empowered souls. It's Shelly Bean. I hope you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So I'm here. I'm going to be giving the collective of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, air signs, your Mercury retrograde messages from Divine Source. And this is basically messages regarding what to expect during this first Mercury retrograde of the fire horse year, the new year, the new cycle, new life cycle, new era. So this is the first Mercury retrograde of this year. So it might be a bit intense for some of you guys or for the collective, because there's also an eclipse energy going on as well. So these are messages that you need to just be aware of for your greatest and highest good. And Mercury retrograde officially kicks in tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 26th here in the United States. However, I don't know about you guys, but I started feeling the energy of Mercury retrograde last week, you know, with the technology and all the glitches and stuff. So I don't know if you guys had already experienced it, because it's pretty common for the energy of Mercury retrograde to start, for you to start feeling it like maybe a week or maybe two ahead of time. So that's not unusual for it to kind of be in that pre-shadow energy period. But anyway, these are some messages for you guys, and let me know in the comment section if you guys have been feeling it already. So again, the Mercury retrograde is going to be from February 26th through March 20th. However, keep in mind that Mercury retrograde not only has a pre-shadow period, but it also has a post-shadow. So even though it goes direct March 20th or somewhere around there, you're probably still going to feel the energy, the residual energy of it a week or two afterwards. So you might say pretty much the rest of March. So just be aware. But these are the messages for you guys, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective. And let's see what Divine Source wants you to know. Holy Spirit, Divine Source, what messages do you have for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective regarding Mercury retrograde energy, what to expect and what to focus on? Please and thank you. What messages for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Divine Source? Please and thank you. Let me have two more messages for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective. What to expect and focus on during Mercury retrograde. Okay, so interesting. So we have stability, harmony, and flow that came out. Yeah, we have that. We have ego, vanity, and pride. And we have reunion, soul ties. Okay, so this is also a period of time, guys, that you know, with Mercury being a planet of communication, and intelligence and things like that, in logic and thinking space. It's also a time where, you know, you have a lot of technological glitches and things with computers and softwares and electronics, you name it, anything in that genre. And also there are delays, like travel delays, and this is often a time too where there's a lot of miscommunication. You know, instead of good flowing communication. There's a lot of miscommunication, whether it's via text, email, whether you're actually verbally talking to somebody, person to person. It's a very sensitive time where things can be quickly and easily misconstrued and misinterpreted. So keep in mind with that. And also, this is a typical time where a lot of people come back around, maybe like exes or old friends and people like that start showing back up. Not only the people start showing back up, but old issues and old things that haven't been completely resolved yet typically come back around as well. So with that said, with the reunion and soul ties, for some of you guys, you could be getting, I was about to say hooking up. I don't want to say hooking up, but some of you guys could be revisiting someone or some connection from the recent past. I don't feel like it's too far in the past, but yeah, I do feel with this energy here, I'm getting that some of you guys will be reconnecting with the past, okay? A past person, past situational connection. And then with ego and pride, there are some things, divine source, regarding your ego space. We all have an ego, and there's some shadow aspects of your ego that need to be looked at. It says vanity and pride. I feel with this lady here looking in the mirror, like the way she's looking, is making me feel like regarding this, divine source is recommending and encouraging that some of you guys take a look at what it is about yourself that you feel you need to show up a certain way that's not completely who you are, not showing up in your authentic self, air signs. So divine source is calling this out or acknowledging that some of you guys, this is a great period of time to, as always, do some self-reflecting, because that's another thing that Mercury retrograde screams about. You know, it's the energy also where it requires us to really slow down, self-reflect, reassess, reevaluate where we are in every area of our life. It could be love, money, finances, work, career, family, friends, social settings, anything. This is a perfect period of time for us to kind of just fall back, slow down, and really take an inventory, a self-inventory of where we are right now and where we want to go moving forward in this new year or the rest of the year. But this is definitely giving feeling or needing to feel some of you guys maybe battling or struggling with needing to show up a certain way to someone or to a group of people or to society or something, needing to show up in a way that may be pleasing to others. So the question would be, air signs, are you showing up for yourself? Who are you showing up for? Are you really showing up for yourself, or are you showing up for other people and their expectations and how they want you to look, how they want you to be, how they want you to sound? That's definitely what I'm getting regarding the ego and vanity and pride. And then again, we have stability, harmony, and flow. Once you decide to step back, specifically during this here I go saying metro again. I don't know if some of you guys caught the other two videos that I did for earth signs and fire signs, but I kept saying metro instead of Mercury retrograde. And I don't know if it's the retro part that's throwing me off and then I'm adding the M in front of it. I don't know, it's crazy, but I keep wanting to say metro. Anywho, this is a great period of time specifically during Mercury retrograde, where in doing the shadow work and just really doing that self-inventory about where your ego is at this point, and are you truly showing up in your realness and your true identity and your true authenticity. Working through that and being honest with yourself about that will help you get to more stability, harmony, and flow in your life in every area. Because as I've said before, and I know firsthand, definitely, when there's an imbalance in our life, or when we're not showing up in our true selves, no matter how displeasing it may be to somebody else, if we're not showing up in our true authentic selves, it's going to always cause a blockage or imbalance in any area of our lives. Take a pick. There's no area in our lives that is off limits in terms of creating imbalance and blockages. So that's definitely what Divine Source wants you to know, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. And again, somebody will show up from the more recent past. And so I definitely get a feeling for you guys in terms of somebody showing up from the past, definitely during this Mercury retrograde. So what other messages do we have for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Divine Source? Please and thank you. Let me move these cards down. Is my light on? Yep. Divine Spirit, what other messages do we have for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective regarding Mercury retrograde? What to expect and what to focus on? And I have a second message, please and thank you, for Air Sign Collective. Okay. At the bottom here, we have card 18, Trust and Flow. Another message about flow. Trust and flow, and then stability, harmony, and flow. Okay, so correlation between the two. It's another big message about when we truly walk in our authenticity and we're really showing up as our true selves, despite the external situations and despite people's opinions and things of that sort, we're doing ourselves a great service. When you don't show up in your true self, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? But when you show up as your true self, things tend to flow a lot better and a lot easier and smoother in your life, okay? So that's just another emphasis that Divine Source wanted to point out. But we have card 38, forgiveness. So with forgiveness, and also card number 38, 38 can be relevant for you guys, which also reduces to 11, which also reduces to 2. So 38, 11, or 2, those numbers can be relevant to some of you guys. And then we have compassion, card number 41. So 41 could be relevant, or 5. But with forgiveness, there's a forgiveness that some of you guys need to work on as well. Not just forgiving other people, maybe even past people, maybe even this past person that might be coming back around this season, but also forgiving yourselves. I'm getting the energy where this is also speaking to you, air signs, where there's an area of your life where you haven't quite completely forgiven yourself about something. And that is even more important than forgiving other people. So this is something else that Divine Source is saying is a great time right now to kind of like, as you're doing your self inventory and checking in with yourself and reassessing things and where you are in your life, also ask yourself, where are you in terms of forgiveness? Have you forgiven other people? But more importantly, have you forgiven yourself? Have you really forgiven yourself about something? Because this is coming up, and this is what Source wants you to think about and examine. And also, thank you, Spirit, and for also having compassion for yourself. While you're forgiving yourself or not extending yourself enough grace and mercy to forgive yourself, once you start forgiving yourself and forgiving others, to also have compassion for yourself and to have compassion for others, but definitely have compassion for yourself. Because a lot of times we beat ourselves up. You know, we can really sometimes project on other people, or like really go in on other people, you know, if we felt done wrong, or you know, if there's been some type of injustice towards us. But there's definitely forgiveness and compassion required of ourselves. Okay, so keep that in mind as you are being encouraged and recommended to work on forgiveness of other people and yourself. Make sure you're also including compassion for others and compassion for yourself while you're in the process. All right. What else? Okay. So during this time of kind of like falling back and slowing down in life, slowing down as much as you can, you know, this is also a great period of time to do some self-care. So I have a self-care deck here. I'm going to look into what is it that Divine Source is also recommending you take care of while we're in this slow Mercury retrograde and sometimes chaotic energy. That's another reason to slow down and to really fall back and really examine things very carefully and cautiously. You know, dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Because again, Mercury retrograde can also bring in that energy of miscommunication, misinterpretation, delays, missing important details, you know, that fine print details, also with contracts. So make sure you guys are looking at contracts, and also, if you can, maybe avoiding buying big purchases during this time as well, you know, because a lot of times when you're buying big purchases, it comes with contracts, and, you know, it's typically not the best time to sign contracts, but, you know, go within. This is just recommendations, but it's not going to apply to everybody. Go with your inner compass, go with your intuition and what you feel you need to do. But it's just something to bring up and to look out for as possibilities. Okay, what self-care messages do you have for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective during this Mercury retrograde period? Please and thank you. What's the second self-care message? Okay, I like this. We got card number 16, make an altar. Hope you can see this. I hope it's not too much glare, but make an altar, guys. This could be an ancestral altar, you know, for your ancestors, or it could just be an altar honoring yourself. I don't know if that's talked about too much, but I think that's a great idea. Even making an altar, if you want, just for yourself, honoring yourself, who you are, who you really truly are. Okay. And that's a great way, again, to represent yourself, to give yourself love, to give yourself honor and respect, is to honor the things that you love and or like about yourself. But again, this is also a time where you can also send gratitude and honor to your ancestors before you. Okay, that's another way of respecting your and honoring your bloodline. All right, so that's recommended. And also listening to music. Listening to music. Which, me personally, I find music extremely therapeutic. I mean, I'm a huge lover of music. It's so much part of my soul. And I don't think I could go through life without having music around. I don't think I could survive. But also too, music, this is card number 37. So 37 can be relevant to you, which reduces to number 10 and 1. So 37, 10, or 1. And then with this altar card, which is 16 or number 7 can be relevant. Okay. I like this. I like the energy, guys. I like this message. I do feel like there's a lot of focus on you, air signs, and being truly who you are. Maybe for some of you guys, moving away from the people-pleasing energy. That's another thing that I'm getting and I'm hearing. And really stepping out and truly being your true self, regardless of what family thinks, regardless of what children think, regardless of what lovers think, regardless of what spouses think, regardless of what family and colleagues think. Okay. I like this energy for you guys. I like it. All right, so let's get some fallback messages. And I'm also going to do, the very last deck I'm going to use is just a tarot deck. I just want to get like one tarot message for you guys before we close out. Well, let's get some fallback messages for you all. We'll get some 3 messages. Holy Divine Spirit, what 3 fallback messages do you have for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective for this upcoming Mercury retrograde season and energy? Please and thank you. What's the second message? And third. Sorry guys about the noise out there. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Okay. All right, we have here, all is necessary without darkness. Okay, all is necessary. Without darkness, there is no light. Like a lotus flower, you can grow from the mud and bloom in the dark. So it talks about polarity. It talks about balance. And it's funny because, you know, I'm talking about air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, and I get heavy Libra too with this particular card because it talks about balance, and Libra is the representative of scales and balance and justice. So yes, I like that. And then we have celebrate you. Yes, take yourself out on a date, treat yourself to a massage, take time to enjoy your company. Yes, I'm getting a lot of energy about the self-care part, about you guys really honoring yourselves. Again, this also speaks to making an altar. Not only can you make an altar for your ancestors, but I'm getting heavy, make an altar for yourself, Libra. Regardless, for yourself. Okay, so that's important. And we have shift your focus off the problems to see the solutions. You have all you need. So you already have all you need. You already have all you need, air signs, within you. Especially when you focus, when you take away maybe being too involved and too, maybe even sometimes obsessed about the problems. Step back and allow yourself to breathe a bit. And once you're in that more calm mode and more relaxation mode, You're able to see things a lot clearer, okay? Because a lot of times when our anxiety is up and we're always so focused on the problem, our minds are a bit scattered, and we can't really completely focus and have the clarity that we need to move forward on something. So that's important. And lastly, let's get a tarot message for you guys. I like your energy. I feel like it, like I said, I did earth signs and fire signs. And to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of the signs or the collective are getting pretty similar messages. Holy Divine Spirit, what tarot message do you have for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius collective at this time regarding the upcoming Mercury retrograde energy? Please and thank you. Come through, Spirit. What I say. We have the Six of Cups, but it came out in reverse. We have the Six of Cups that came out in reverse. Sorry. The Six of Cups coming out in reverse. So that is nostalgia. That's like, you know, with it coming out in reverse, it talks about a past situation or a past situation that you're wanting to leave. So with the Six of Cups in reverse, and then we had reunion soul ties. Again, somebody could be coming around. I feel the energy coming back around to you guys. That was from the more recent past, not from somebody like from 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I don't feel that energy, but it could be for some of you guys, but I feel a stronger energy that is connected to a recent past person or situation or both that's coming back around. But with the Six of Cups coming out in reverse, it talks about cutting those ties. So that person or situation or that person, let's say, could be reconnecting with you during this time. But you may find air signs that you may want to put a nail in it once and for all. That you may want to close the door on that past situation once and for all. Once they come back in, maybe this person is coming back in to give you guys closure. Or maybe you're getting closure. Maybe you need closure. But with the Six of Cups coming out in reverse, it definitely talks about leaving home or people, cutting ties and no longer being obligated to people or a situation. And it talks about having, it could be like a breach of trust involved as well. And also, too, it talks about really growing up and evolving and maturing and seeing what no longer belongs in your life. So again, a lot of times things come back around and people come back around in our lives because there is some type of unfinished business. And sometimes we may find that they're coming back around because we do need to finally see what needs to be done, whether or not this situation or person still fits in our lives or if they don't. And that's what I'm getting for some of you guys. Especially, I feel like heavy Libra with this energy and Aquarius. Not too much Gemini, but I definitely feel more Libra and Aquarius with this, but take it how it resonates, guys. So with that being said, I hope that the messages resonated and that you found them helpful, everybody. And until the next upload, which won't be too long, I'm trying to really get a little bit more constant and have a little bit more regularity on my channel. But in any case, as always, be well and be at peace. Ashe.